Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're kicking off with episode 3 of the Road to Gold series. For this race we're at the lovely Bahrain Outer Circuit. You can see we've got dry weather, nice and sunny outside. We do have a lot of big braking zones and straights with this track, so hopefully we've got a decent amount of overtaking opportunities there. But to see what happens, you'll have to watch to the end of the race. We do have a decent qualifying, which just puts into P6, so that's not too bad. We've got a 20-minute race, so there's no pit stop or tyre change. So it's just an outright race to the finish. So yeah, sit back, let's see how we get into it. I'll flash something up on screen here for you, so you can see whereabouts on the leaderboards we are. And then also where our safety rating is sitting, so you can see how it looks coming into this race.
Go, go, go.
Lights going green then, we do get off to a decent start, as you can see, pulling on the guy behind. The guy in P7 who was just behind us does get a drive-through penalty by the looks of it. We jump up from P6 into P5. Pulling up the inside here to try and make a move. I do nearly go into the back of that Porsche and just about squeeze in between the two of them. Getting a good drive out of this corner. We're up into P4 now. So really not a bad start after just 2 corners. So what we want to try and do is stay in the slipstream of these guys. We don't want to drop too far back. Do like a little weird double downshift there, not too sure why. So still on the back of these, up into P3, and then up into P2, so we have had a fantastic start to this race. However, unfortunately, I'm not really too sure what happened there. I think under braking, the car shifted around a little bit. So going wide off that track, cutting across that corner so I didn't sort of pull in front of everyone. Unfortunately, we're down to P7 at the moment, but can we make a move up into this corner here? Let's have a look. No, so being a bit careful on the first lap with cold tyres and stuff, sticking behind. Hopefully we can settle into this race. P5 going into the pits for his drive-through penalty, so that'll move us up a position. And then coming down the main straight to start lap 2, right up on the back of this McLaren here, and we look to the inside, see if we can make a move. And we're late on the brakes. We get the apex just right, and we do keep him behind. So looking up front, we've got P4 who's about 1.1 second ahead. The McLaren behind is still pretty close. So he goes wide onto this corner. I take a shallow line to try and defend, and he just drives into the back of me, so that's just great. However, he does let me back through, so I guess fair play there. And then as you can see behind, he is under attack from the Corvette. Getting this corner right this time. Going a little bit wide. But yeah, guy behind just under a second. Let's see if we can open that gap up, and let's see if we can close into the guys in front. So keep your eyes peeled to see what happens.
Just done a 115.80. P5.
Trying to make sure we hit them braking markers then. However, unfortunately we do go a little bit deep into this corner. That does give the McLaren behind the drive on us out of here. And then we do get a big snap of oversteer. Probably cold tyres, maybe the damage on the back. However, the McLaren who does go past us then lets us back through. I don't know if it's because he sort of took us out on the previous lap. Going a little bit deep into this corner as well. A little bit out of sorts, and this one as well, since having that crash. I think here the McLaren, does it go at the inside? Yeah, so the McLaren slipping through in front. So let's just see if we can sit behind this guy and at least maintain this position for now. Hopefully progress forward further into the race.
Your tyres are cold, watch out. fastest lap for Senna, 1:15.05.
If you are enjoying the racing content, guys, and you would obviously like to see more videos in the future,
P6.
I'd like to say please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. It really does help out the channel, helps me grow. It also helps get the videos out there for other people to watch, which, yeah, just in turn gives me more motivation and more time to be able to do these races for you. So yeah, I'll leave you to it.
Okay, Luke, run out of track limits. Keep it between the lines. The gap behind is now 0.37. 15 minutes remaining. 15 minutes to go.
Not the cleanest couple of corners behind them, so that has allowed the guy behind to close up a little bit. However, the McLaren running deep into this corner, so that should hopefully give us a little bit of a better run. As you can see, the time slowly dropping down from 0.9 to 0.7. So we do have the run down here, and we do go fastest in the final sector. Down to 0.6 seconds then, coming into the braking zone. Closing down again. Who gets the better apex here? Nice and clean out of this corner as well. So the McLaren did open up a little bit of a gap there coming out the exit. However, it does look as though we're in the slipstream a little bit. Let's just see if we can keep on track of this guy and see if he can close on the guys in front.
Watch your rear tyres, they're pretty cold.
Unfortunately, again, I don't get the best entry and exit into this corner. So you can see the McLaren there, it does open up the gap by about half a second coming out of that corner. We were at about 0.8, I think. The guy behind is still 0.7 seconds, so he's defo within DRS range. However, it did just increase a little bit there. Again, the McLaren opening up that gap a little bit more. Guy behind closing, so we are a little bit unsettled in the race at this point. All we need to do at the moment is just focus on defending from the position behind. So yeah, let's see if we can do that.
The gap behind is now 0.7.
Coming into this tight left-hander then, let's see if we can get this right. Don't get the best exit, we did get an okay entry. However, the McLaren behind us does definitely get the run on us. He's now down to 0.3. So he's probably not close enough to make a move into this corner, but we do need to keep an eye on him.
Cold tyres all round.
So he's closing up massively under braking there. He does go a little bit wide into that corner,
That's a new fastest
onto the
lap.
curb a little bit. So we do open that gap up a little bit more. So it could be that the dirty air, if they have that in Le Mans, is affecting him when he's getting up close. Guy in front is now 2 seconds ahead, dropping slightly, so okay, closing big up on the braking there, dropping from 2 seconds down to 1.5, but then on the exit opening back up to 2 seconds again, so he seems to be maintaining that gap in front.
Warned about track limits.
So it does appear we absolutely nailed this corner, because you'll notice the gap in front drops by about half a second and the gap behind also opens up. You'll also see that we've gone purple in sector 1, so finding pace from somewhere. I did cut the track a little bit there, however it didn't seem to class as a invalidation, so we keep going. Not the best sector 2 that I've done, as you can see flashing up orange. However, now we've got about 2 seconds in front, well, 1.5, and we've opened up the gap behind to about 2 seconds. So now he's out of our slipstream, and hopefully he stays there. We don't have to worry about him. It relieves a little bit of pressure from the guy behind, so we can now focus on the people in front.
Okay, Luke, watch the track limits, please.
Just over a second to the car in front now then, so we are closing that gap slowly. Coming into this tight left-hander again. Defo getting it better this time. You can see from the gap in front as well that we didn't lose any time, so
10 minutes remaining, 10 minutes. We're halfway home.
coming into the final corner, closing up that gap again down to 0.8. So hopefully should be within the slipstream range here. The gap opens up slightly. Let's see if we can close in and run down this back straight or coming up into this first corner.
6th place.
Coming into the first corner then, trying to be as late on the brakes as possible. And if you look at that time, we do close the gap up a little bit. I think we get the apex a little bit better than he does. Hopefully we can close the gap a little bit more coming down this straight with being in the slipstream. Lay onto the brakes in this corner as well. Coming across the apex nicely. Closing that gap a little bit more. Let's see if we can try and apply some pressure and put him off a little bit here. A little bit wide into that corner.
35 Celsius. Oh no, Luke.
Unfortunately, it does open the gap back up to about a second there, so that was unfortunate.
Half distance, fuel looks good.
Now got a little bit wide on the exit here, again a little bit of a snap.
Track limits.
Gap opening up in front once again, so we've got to try and close down.
1.5 seconds.
I really can't just seem to get that corner right, to be honest. I haven't had much practice on this track. I know the track, but I haven't had much practice on the sort of outer circuit. Going a little bit deep into that final corner then. And yeah, the gap's just opening up in front, so...
Yellow flag, caution.
Someone going into the pits off to the side, however I think it is a back marker so we don't gain any positions here. And yeah, once again the gap in front I think is back up to about 2 seconds. Yeah, so not great. However, the guy in P5 has now just closed up to the guy in P4, so at least if they start battling we might be able to sort of catch up and take advantage. As long as the gap behind stays as it is, shouldn't really have any pressure from behind.
Sector 3 is clear, green flag.
Going purple in sector 1 then. Unfortunately we do get an invalidation on that corner there. As I said, just can't seem to settle into that corner and get it right. Maybe some more practice is needed in the future, rather than just sort of jumping into the race without any practice. The cars in front then are definitely slowing each other down, as I think now the gap's down to about a second. So if we keep closing in at this pace, maybe we can get 2 positions for the price of 1 here. So keep your eyes peeled and let's see what happens. So the McLaren does move out then, and looks like he's going to try and make a move. Compromises both the lines. That brings the gap down to under a second. So let's see if they continue fighting into these next couple of corners here. Yeah, so they're not really fighting too much, but they're not exactly getting the best exits out of the corners. So as you can see, once again we're up to 0.6 seconds. The guy in front of him is only 1.2, so a podium is on the cards here if we can sort of get past these 2 people in front, if they keep on fighting. 0.4, 0.3. Let's see if we can get a good exit out of this corner and make a move into that first corner. So I don't think the slipstream is really giving me too much effect here, as I'm pretty sure the guy in front is in the slipstream of the guy in front of him. Do seem to be closing up the gap a little bit. Not close enough to make a move though, so we're going to have to stick behind coming into this first corner. Trying to get a nice wide exit so I can get a good run. Cutting the corner nicely. And yeah, the McLaren seems to have closed up to the Porsche, so I think the slipstream isn't really giving me too much help at the moment. Let's see what we can do. Two cars in front still fighting. Let's see how we do on this corner this time. Getting a nice entry, nice exit, cutting the curb perfectly, not running out too wide. So the McLaren is right on the back of the Porsche coming down this back straight. Maybe setting himself up for a move into the final corner. Doesn't try to make a move coming into this, so it does give me the suspicion that he's going to try and get a better run. Porsche goes a little bit wide. McLaren up the inside. And it looks like they're potentially going to be side by side coming into the first corner, so this could be a good opportunity to make a move and take both of them. Coming into the braking zone then, McLaren locks up a little bit, does take a very narrow line, runs the Porsche wide, both of them getting a bad exit, Porsche spins off, and now we're right on the back of that McLaren, so 2 minutes to go, the Porsche slowly dropping back. Getting a nice entry into this corner. Staying right on the back of the McLaren, who seems to let off through that corner a little bit. Closing right up on the back of him here. Nice exit into this corner. No track limits, good.
Really got to pay attention to these track limits.
Alright, let's see if we can hunt this guy down. On the brakes then into the final corner, hoping to close up the gap here. We do get a lovely entry into that corner. However, the McLaren also gets the same, so we do slowly close down on this straight. However, I don't know if this McLaren's just got quicker acceleration, quicker top speed, but I can't really seem to close enough to even make a move. It does go narrow into this corner, so I'm not going to compromise my line. Just going to follow the normal racing line, get a nice apex. See if I can get a better run on the entry, exit. However, he does stay ahead. We do seem pretty evenly matched, us and the McLaren. We are running a bit of damage on the rear and on the side though, so I don't know how much that's actually affecting my pace. I don't really know what the damage modelling LMU's like. But yeah, if we can keep P5, it's 1 position ahead of where we qualified. So that's all I can ask for really. Not getting the track limits on here again. However, McLaren again consistent through here.
Track limits, come on, keep it between the white lines.
So yeah, this might be pretty evenly matched till the end, but let's see what we can do. As long as we can stay ahead of the guy behind, which has now opened up to what, 2 seconds, which I think we should be okay. If you look up at the rankings now, then you'll notice that P3 has gone into the pits. I think his virtual energy's run out, so that does move us up into P4, which isn't too bad. On to the final lap then. And coming into the braking zone here, we do really close up on the McLaren and almost go into the back of him. We do leave it braking really late there. Fortunately, he does get a better exit than us, so he does open up that gap again on the exit. He himself is very low on virtual energy. I probably did put too much virtual energy in. I don't really understand it too much at the moment, but I don't think it affects your race pace. However, if I'm wrong there, please stick it down in the comments and let me know. So getting this corner okay again, not getting the track limits from what I can see. Not getting the best exit though, so McLaren opening up the gap slightly. Gap behind is still 2.2 though, so pretty comfortable there, don't need to worry. Right, into the final corner. Getting it nice and cleanly. Wouldn't want to spin out and lose a position here.
P4. Okay, it's over.
Finishing the race in P4 then, so it's not too bad of a result. Had a relatively clean race as well. So as you can see there in P4. And in a second, just flicking through to the results, let's see what our safety rating is looking like. So going up 2 positions from qualifying. And our safety rating going up by 12.3%. And also our drive rating as well from the looks of it. Not too bothered about the sort of drive rating at the moment. I'm mainly focusing on the safety rating. Because I'm thinking after this I might do some championships online. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for the next video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.